It's nearly 3 years since this tweet first went viral about Will Still. Rahm are fined £22,000 per match because he doesn't have his pro licence yet. Unbeaten in 12 games now. Great story. In the months to come, this tweet will be copied hundreds of times to the point where it became a running joke of how often this tweet would get reused. Even to this day, it still gets referenced now. But fast forward to the present day, and we're finally getting to see what Will Still is like as a manager in England. And it's not going well. Southampton were the second favourites for promotion from the Championship at the start of the season, but find themselves 20th, having won just 2 of their 12 games so far. So today we're going to look at Will Still's managerial career and answer the big question. I'm Ryan Dilks from the second tier, and this is Will Still, future elite manager or meme? Before we get underway, please make sure you like this video and subscribe for more content like this. Will Still was born in 1992 in Braine-l'Alleud in Belgium to English parents. He grew up in the Walen region near Brussels and played football as a teenager, but decided to pursue a career as a coach at the age of 17 after playing the game Football Manager. Still moved to England where he studied coaching while also working with Preston North End's under-14s team. At the age of 21, he joined Belgian side Saint-Truidennes as a video analyst, and a year later would move to one of the biggest clubs in Belgium, Standard Liège. His management career would get underway in 2017 when at the age of just 24, he was named manager of second-tier Belgian side Lierse. Despite a 7-game winning streak, Still was forced to step down because he hadn't yet gotten a UEFA A licence. Will Still in these bloody licences, eh? In 2018, Still moved to Beerschot, where he would spend 2.5 years as an assistant manager before being promoted to manager in January 2021 at the age of 28, helping to guide them to their only top half finish in Belgium's top tier in the last 10 years. Beerschot decided they wanted a more experienced manager, so didn't stick with Will Still and got someone else. The following season they would be relegated. Still would move on to French side Rahm to be assistant manager to Oscar Garcia. When Garcia got sacked, Still was named caretaker, and after going unbeaten in his first 5 games, was given the job full-time, becoming the youngest manager in Europe's top 5 leagues, having only just celebrated his 30th birthday. It was here where Rahm were getting fined £22,000 or €25,000 per game because Will Still hadn't yet got his UEFA Pro licence, but Rahm had to keep him on because he was doing so bloody well. They went 17 league games unbeaten after Still took charge, the longest unbeaten start for a manager in Ligue 1 history. It included getting a draw away at a PSG side which had the likes of Lionel Messi, Kylian Mbappe and Neymar in their starting 11. He was also only 1 game away from matching the record across Europe's top 5 leagues this century, which was set by Tito Villanova and Barcelona in 2012-13. Rahm did capitulate a bit at the end of the season but ended up finishing 11th, which is really good going considering they spent most of the season in the bottom 3 before Still took over. You've also got to consider Rahm are a pretty small club in France, but most importantly, Will Still did this despite only being 30. To really drive home just how young that is for a manager, the youngest permanent manager ever in the Premier League is 31. So for Still to have achieved what he did at Rahm is phenomenal. And his achievements were catching the eye in England, but so was his ability to switch seamlessly between English and French in training sessions.
Arrête de conduire le ballon ou arrête de casser à l'intérieur. Don't lose it! Don't lose it! Much better, réagis! Deux derniers ballons, lasso!
Will Still had become a well-known name in England, despite never having managed here. It led to him being linked with several jobs, most notably West Ham, and had reportedly also held talks with Sunderland. He stayed at Rahm and managed to improve their league position in the 23-24 season, finishing 9th, despite losing several key players, most notably top scorer from the season before, following Balogun. Still would leave Rahm in the summer of 2024, and the following season they would be relegated. He would move to a bigger club in the form of Lens. Similarly to his time at Rahm, Lens would also sell a lot of their best players, but still had them finishing 8th, which was just a place below where they finished the season before. So a really good start to management for Will Still, and keep in mind this was all before the age of 33. To have achieved what he had done at such a young age is really, really impressive. But it was now time for us in England to get a closer look at what Will Still was like as a manager. In May of 2025, Will Still left Lens to move back to England and be closer to his partner. Just a matter of days later, he was named the new manager of Southampton. They were coming off the back of a disastrous season in the Premier League, which nearly saw them break the record for the fewest points in a campaign. But despite that, Still made it clear that his aim was to get Southampton promoted. So how's it gone so far? Yep, 12 games into the season, and it's fair to say it's not gone to plan. Southampton are 20th with just 12 points on the board and 2 wins. It means since the start of last season, they've won just 4 league games. It's left Will Still under serious pressure, with fans chanting you're getting sacked in the morning after their most recent loss to fellow strugglers, Blackburn. All this is despite an incredibly strong squad, with several players who got promoted with them just over a year ago, and the 6th most expensive transfer window in Championship history, having spent over £40 million this past summer. However, the thing is, yes, Southampton's results have been bad, but they've actually been playing pretty well. Let's look at the underlying data. Southampton actually have the second highest XG in the entire division, with 21.3 according to Opta, but have only scored 13 actual goals. They're underperforming their XG more than any other side in the division, and what that means is they're creating plenty of chances, just not putting them away. We've seen perfect examples of that in Southampton's recent results. They absolutely battered Swansea and created chance after chance, but had to settle for a goalless draw. Against Bristol City, they missed great chances when the score was 1-1 and were ultimately made to pay for it by losing 3-1. And then in their most recent game against Blackburn, Adam Armstrong, one of the most reliable goal scorers in Championship history, had 2 1-on-1s and missed both of them when they were 1-0 up. Blackburn will go on to win 2-1. But it's not just in front of goal where Southampton haven't been good enough, it's in front of their own as well. Southampton make so many individual errors at the back. No team has made more which have led to a shot than them. In fact, they've nearly made twice as many errors as the team in third. In that Bristol City game, there were 2 mistakes which led to goals, and against Blackburn, it was a catalogue of errors with 2 goals which were very avoidable. So what you've got here is a side creating loads of chances, not putting them away, and defenders making errors which are leading to goals. Ultimately, you can spend all the time you want on the training ground working on shape, working on creating as many chances as possible. But what you can't do as a manager is make those players score those chances in a match or prevent them from making clumsy errors. I think what Will Still has found is a group of players whose confidence is essentially on the floor. That's going to be the case when you've got a team here who have won just 4 league games since the start of last season. He's got 2 strikers in Adam Armstrong and Cameron Archer who would have walked into every team in the Championship at the beginning of the season. Armstrong has scored goals for fun at this level. Archer has already moved for at least £15 million 3 times in his career. Both are in the top 5 for strikers underperforming their XG this season. In fact, Armstrong is one of only 3 players to have an XG of more than 6. The other 2 are Coventry's Haji Wright and Brandon Thomas Asante, who both have twice the number of goals as Armstrong. The only Southampton striker who was performing better than his XG this season was Ross Stewart, who suffered a hamstring injury almost as soon as he started to get going, which is a really good summary of Southampton's luck right now. It's a really tough thing to do, having to rebuild a player's confidence, and it's something Will Still hasn't had to do in his career, or at least certainly not to this extent. In my view, tactically, Will Still hasn't done much wrong at all at Southampton. Yes, earlier in the campaign they were open at the back and a bit slow in possession, but he needs to be allowed a transition period as he gets to grips with this team, because certainly in recent games he's definitely deserved a lot more than just the 2 wins he's got this season. They're creating the chances, just not putting them away, and not giving away many chances either outside of the individual errors. There's not much more he can do as a coach. He's shown a lot of tactical flexibility as well, regularly switching formations very often mid-game. So tactically, Will Still is undoubtedly a very talented manager. If there's any question marks, it's perhaps with man management and putting confidence back into these players who have had it beaten out of them. For me, it feels like only a matter of time before Southampton get going. All it takes is a goal or 2 for someone like Cameron Archer to get his confidence back, get him finding the back of the net again, and that could lift the entire side. But patience is obviously running out for Will Still, considering their current position. However, if they do sack him, I think they could definitely live to regret it. We've got to keep in mind how young he is. He became the youngest manager in Championship history when taking charge of Southampton's first game of the season. He only celebrated his 33rd birthday a couple of weeks ago. Will Still is still very much learning as a coach, and whether he survives it or not, he will learn a lot from this bad run at Southampton. For me, I believe, considering what he's achieved at such a young age in his managerial career, he will go on to have a lot of success. Whether that's with or without Southampton, well, that's very much up to them. So there you have it. This has been Will Still, future elite manager or meme. What do you think? Do you think he'll go on to have a successful career? Let me know in the comments section below. If you've enjoyed the video, make sure you like and subscribe for more content like this. And if you're a particularly big fan of what we do here at the Second Tier, make sure you join our new YouTube membership community, where for just £4.99 a month, you get access to all sorts of great perks like the Second Tier Discord and an exclusive bonus video every single week. All you need to do is hit the join icon right next to the subscribe button. I've been Dilks from the Second Tier, and a big thank you for watching.